Hello, dear students, and welcome to EduTap. So, guys, we are back with another session for NABARD Gr A for English Phase 1. So, guys, first of all, I hope all of you are safe and all of you are following the precautions, the safety measures, and you very well know that the cases of COVID-19 is on the rise. So, guys, please be very careful, right, and stay safe and keep on preparing. So guys, if you can hear me and if you can see me, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Hello Sonali, how are you? One of my regular students, my regular viewer, Sonali Bhattacharya is here. So guys, can you hear me? Can you, is the video and is the audio all right? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. All right, thank you. So let's start, guys. Today we are going to learn about reading comprehension. So guys, basically, reading comprehension is, I think what I feel is the easiest part given to you in the exam. Reason being, guys, see, in quants and in reasoning, right, you have to solve everything. Now, even in grammatical part of English, you have to figure out the rules and the erroneous part in the sentence. But in reading comprehension, guys, look at it this way. Guys, you don't have to solve anything. Everything is given to you. Every answer is given to you right there in the exam, right? And you just have to find your answers. So what could be easier than that, guys? I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you? So guys, reading comprehension is basically about your comprehension ability. So reading comprehension is thrown at the aspirants to check or to evaluate their comprehension ability. Now, what do I mean by comprehension ability, guys? They want to see if you are in a habit of reading editorials or articles or something that is available to you in your day-to-day lives. So are you in a habit of reading, and are you able to read something thrown at you out of the blue, right? And they want to see if you can comprehend and if you can find the answers in the passage. So guys, good evening, Black Shadow. Welcome to the session. So you will be given either 5 or 10 multiple choice questions based on the reading comprehension, the passage that will be given to you, right? So basically, guys, you must have, if you've tried or if you're preparing for any exam, or let's say we have been solving reading comprehension since we were kids, right? So what is the one trick that they always told you? Do you remember, guys? Your teachers or your mentors, uh, do you know any of the tricks to solve reading comprehension? Yes, guys, please share it with me if you want to, so that we can see that do we really know how to go about it? What are the tricks to find out answers in reading comprehension? Good evening, Manish. How are you? Yes, guys. So I'm sure that you must have been told or you must have been taught this one particular trick all along, which we call reverse reading, guys. So absolutely, Sonali. So reverse, that's what I'm getting to. So reverse reading, that's what I mean. That what do we call reverse reading, guys? And how does it help you? And you only have to read the passage once if you follow this trick. Very good, Siddharth. Very good, Sonali. Absolutely correct. So what do we understand by reverse reading? Now, it means read the questions first and then the passage. Got it? Now, it helps you in two very important ways. Now, guys, many students feel, sir, how does it make a difference if we read the passage first or if we read the questions first? Finally, we have to answer the questions based on the passage, right? But Guys, that's not the only help that you get if you read the questions. There are two, very important aspects of reverse reading. First is, guys, you will get the theme. Once you read the passage, once you read the questions, you will understand the theme, or we can say the gist or the crux of the passage just by reading the questions. So you will find out the theme of the passage, you will understand the gist of the passage, crux of the passage, by reading the questions first. And second very important element of reverse reading is keywords. So what do I mean by keywords, guys? When you read the questions, try to figure out the keywords that are that are hidden in the question, which will help you to find your answers. So basically, guys, I'll just give you an example. How does it work, right? So guys, I'm going to give you a few questions. Now listen to the questions carefully and try to find out the theme, the gist, or the crux of the passage, right? So I'm going to give you some questions, guys. Listen very carefully. First question is, what was the cause of conflict between the Eastern countries and the Western countries during the 20th century? Right? That's first question. Question number two. What, according to the author, were the consequences of the attacks of 9/11 on the world? That is the second question, right? Third question was, according to the passage, what is the difference between bioterrorism and, let's say, chemical terrorism, right? Bioterrorism and chemical terrorism. What's the difference between that according to the passage? Question number four, what was the impending decision which was taken at the Peace Summit of Switzerland in 2004? So that was question number four. And what was the theme of the passage, or what was the central idea of the passage, or what should be the title of the passage? Let's say there was one question based on that, right? So guys, if you have understood the questions properly, if you have heard the questions properly, now could you tell me the central theme of the passage only after listening to the questions? uh yes, Sunny, we were expecting notification of NABARD, by 20th of April. That's what we had in mind, because that's what we received as what we call internal information. But due to the COVID-19 situation and the growing number of cases, now we are not sure when the notifications will be out. So let's keep the fingers crossed, Sunny, and keep on preparing. It's good that you have more time on your hands now. Yes, guys, I was asking you, after listening to these questions, could you understand the central theme of the passage? Question number one is, what was the cause of conflict between the Eastern countries and the Western countries during the 20th century, right? Question number two, according to the author, what were the real consequences of the attacks of 9/11 on the world? Question number three, what according to the passage is the difference between bioterrorism and chemical terrorism? Question number four, was what impending decision was taken at the Peace Summit of Switzerland during in 2004, right? And fifth was, what should be the apt title of the passage? So guys, after listening to these questions, could you tell me the central theme of the passage? Now guys, after listening to all these questions, we can, I think, guess that the passage would be revolving around, or would revolve around terrorism. Do you agree? Yes or no, guys? So what do you think is the central, what do you think would be the central theme of the passage after listening to these questions? Absolutely, guys. So the theme would be terrorism. We can understand that, yes or no? Guys, please, everybody, be receptive. Please try to answer. Otherwise ये जागरण की तरह हो जाएगा यार. ठीक है, कि आप बस सिर्फ सुने जा रहे हो लेकिन पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हो. मतलब प्रसाद लेने आए हो लेकिन वो नहीं करना है आपको ना, तो ऐसे नहीं. ठीक है. Yes, guys. So what do you say would be the central theme of the passage? right? So we can say the theme of the passage was terrorism, right? And after listening to these questions, now the second thing that I wanted to discuss with you is keywords. So what keywords um, could we find out from the passage? From question number 1, what was the cause of conflict? Right, conflict between Eastern countries and Western countries, right? So we can mark down these keywords when we read the questions. Question number 2, what were the consequences of the attacks of 9/11 on the world? So these are my keywords. Question number 3, what according to the passage was the difference between so we had to find the difference between bioterrorism versus chemical terrorism, right? So we can put it this way. Question number 4 was what was the impending decision that was taken in the peace summit of Switzerland, right? So guys, this makes it very easy for me now to find out answers in the passage. Now, why do we always emphasize on reverse reading, guys? See, if what usually students do, they waste their time by not reading the questions first. So what happens? You read the passage like it's a story without reading the questions. So you read the passage in one go and you read it like a story, like you don't know which part is important or which is not. And after reading the passage, when you come to the questions, then you read question number 1 and you remember that yes, there was something about Eastern countries and Western countries in the passage. So you again jump back to the passage and try to find out your answers there. Then you come back to question number 2, then again you jump back to the passage and try to find out the answer for that. So if you're reading again and again, if you're going through the passage again and again to find your answers, that is wastage of time. I told you, Kunal, due to COVID-19, we are not sure, but we were expecting the notification by 20th of April. But due to the developments because of COVID-19, the number of cases of COVID-19, we are not sure now, right? I think Kunal joined late in the session, so I'll repeat it again. So this is the benefit of reading the questions first. So if you read the questions first, it becomes very easy for you to get the central theme of the passage. Now I know the keywords as well. So if I read the questions first, now when I'm going to jump to my comprehension. So what's going to happen? I'm going to read first paragraph and I'm going to see if there was any answer based on any of the questions that are asked. No, I'll move ahead. Second paragraph, I found the answer for question number 1. Right. So as I found the answer, I'll straight away jump onto the question and mark my answer. Then I read paragraph number 3. There was no answer there. Paragraph number 4, there were 2 questions, answer for 2 questions on that paragraph. Paragraph number 5, there was no answer. Paragraph number 6, there was one answer based on that. So this is how you can solve the whole passage in one go. You don't have to refer to the passage again and again to solve the questions. Absolutely, it could be consequences of terrorism on 21st century, but Siddharth, let's not jump to the jump to any conclusions. We can actually keep the central theme that it would be implications, could be consequences, could be the reasons behind. There's a question of cause of conflict, so there must be the reasons behind the conflict. So it would start from the past, then it would come to the present, and then it would tell the consequences or implications. So we don't need to worry about that. Only find out the central theme, that was terrorism, right? So not just 21st century, it may be 20th century, right, Siddharth? So don't make up any assumptions before reading the passage. Just keep the keywords in mind and keep the central theme in mind. And guys, let's try it today. Let's try to do it. Let's try to exercise or implement reverse reading in the passage, right? So I'm giving you questions first. Read the questions carefully, mark your keywords, and then we will read the passage and we'll see if we are able to find the answers in one go or not. So question number 1 is inflation is normally, and then he's given you the options: decrease in the supply of goods, increase in the access to wealth by all, multiplication of resources with the passage of time, rise in the price of goods and services over a period of time. Okay, so we have to find inflation is normally, what is inflation, right? Second is, according to the passage, inflation initially referred to. Initially means it, in the beginning, what it referred to. So we had to find that. So if you can see that the questions are about inflation, right? So we can create a theme around this. Let's read the further question. The real value of money can be inferred as. So we have to find the real value of money. It will be given in the passage. So the purchasing power, ability to purchase fewer goods, updating of real values, decline in the value, and none of these. Fourth is, in the passage, economists concur that high rates of inflation are due to. So we have to find that economists believe that the reason of high rates of inflation are due to, and you have given choices. And fifth question is, moderate rates of inflation are caused by which of the following? So moderate rates of inflation. So guys, we have figured out our keywords. So I think the passage will be about, I think it would be about economy and specifically inflation, right? About money, inflation, high rates of inflation, the reasons behind it, around it. So guys, could you understand the central theme of the passage? It would be necessarily based on, I mean, directly or indirectly dependent on inflation, right? So we had to find moderate rates are caused. So cause of moderate rates of inflation. Then economists concur that the reason for high rates of inflation are this. Then we have to find real value of money. Then inflation initially referred to, and inflation is normally what is considered, right? So we have marked down the keywords. Now let's read the passage and let's try to find out the answers. So guys, have you got the central theme of the passage? Have you understood what type of passage are you going to face now? Are you mentally prepared or not? Yes, guys, you can just answer me in a simple yes or no. Absolutely, Siddharth. So the central theme of the passage would be inflation, right? Moderate rates, high rates. So these are the keywords that we could find here. Now let's read the passage, guys, and let's try to solve the passage in one go. Very well done, guys. So let's read it carefully. Inflation usually refers to general rise in the level of prices of goods and services over a period of time. So it usually, I think this is my answer to the first question. Inflation usually refers to general rise in the level of prices of goods and services over a period of time. This is also referred to as price inflation. The term inflation originally, no, I think we have found the first answer. I think yes, guys. So we can see for the answer for question number 1. Yes, guys. Decrease in the supply of goods, increase in the access to wealth by all, multiplication of resources with the passage of time, or rise in the price of goods and services over a period of time, or none of the above. Guys, if you actually implement this trick, with practice and with some time, it will really help you to solve your passage very quickly and with 100% efficiency and accuracy. Absolutely, Shadow, Sonali. Rest of the students are not interested to answer. I think it is clearly given here. Rise in the price of goods and services over a period of time. It's exactly the same. See? So it is rise in the level of prices and goods and services over a period of time. This is also referred to as price inflation. The term inflation originally referred to the debasement of the currency and was used to describe increases in the money supply. That is called monetary inflation. So originally, that means that is the answer for my second question, I think, right? Right, initially, or I think the question was, according to the passage, inflation initially referred to increase in the money supply, debasement of currency, a cause and effect scenario, price inflation, or none of the above. Yes, guys. So what do you say should be the answer for the second question? It originally referred to debasement of the currency and was used to describe increases in the money supply. So originally it referred to debasement of currency and was used to describe increases in the money supply. Yes, guys. Increases in the money supply, or it referred to debasement of currency? What do you say? Price inflation? No, originally and initially, guys, these words you must be very careful. Originally basically means when it began, right? When people started using the word inflation. So originally or initially, they're the same thing, and it basically meant debasement of currency. But why did I not choose option number A? It also mentioned increases in the supply of money, but it is given was used to describe, but the term originally referred to the debasement of the currency. So that was the first point. So that was our answer. However, debates regarding cause and effect have led to its primary use today in describing price inflation. Now this is today, but originally it referred to debasement of currency, right? Let's read further, guys. Inflation can also be described as a decline in the real value of money. It can also be described as a decline in the real value of money. This means logically that, very broadly speaking, in all economic values have to be updated at the rate of inflation. When the general level of prices rises, each monetary unit buys fewer goods and services. So this basically means that all economic values have to be updated at the rate of inflation. When the general level of prices rises, each monetary unit buys fewer goods and services. Obviously, now, if 10 years ago, you could buy, let's say, 2 chocolates or 1 chocolate for 20 rupees, right? Now, today, you may not be able to buy 1 chocolate for 20 rupees. So that's what we call inflation. So economists generally agree that high rates of inflation, this is my answer. I think this was a question. They generally agree that high rates of inflation and hyperinflation are caused by high growth rates of the money supply, right? Views on the factors that determine moderate rates of inflation are more varied, such as changes in inflation are sometimes attributed to fluctuations in real demand for goods and services or in available supplies, that is changes in scarcity, and sometimes to changes in money supply, that is amount of units of currency. However, there is general consensus that in the long run, inflation is caused by money supply increasing faster than the growth rate of the economy, right? So it was easy because not everyone will be able to understand if you do not belong to the economic sorry, not economic background, commerce background. So a person who does not belong to the commerce background, he may not feel the same. Shadow. So we're just learning how to solve the passage as we go. So third question, real value of money can be inferred as the purchasing power, ability to purchase fewer goods, updating of real values, decline in the value. Yes, guys. So the real value of money, I think this was the answer. Inflation can also be described as a decline in the real value of money. Yes, guys. So what should be the answer here? Inflation can be described as, yes, guys, this is the answer. The first line can be described as declining the real value of money. This means logically that, very broadly speaking, all economic values have to be updated at the rate of inflation. So when the general level of prices rises, each monetary unit buys fewer goods and services. So this means that all economic values have to be updated at the rate of inflation. So that's what we call real value of money. Yes, guys. Real value of money can be inferred as purchasing power, ability to purchase fewer goods, updating of real values, decline in the value, or none of the above. Yes, guys, what should be the correct answer? Absolutely correct, Sonali. So guys, it basically means real value of money basically means updating of real values of money. Not B, Siddharth. It is C. Ability to purchase fewer goods. That's real value of money. Siddharth. फोर्थ का आंसर बाद में दे देंगे, चलो पहले थर्ड का तो दे दो. So guys, it is given. See, inflation can also be described as a decline in the real value of money. But the question was, what can be considered the real value of money? The real value of money basically means that, very broadly speaking, the economic values have to be updated at the rate of inflation. That is what we call real value of money. Correct. So the correct answer was option number C. Question number 4, guys. In the passage, economists concur that high rates of inflation are due to, that was also clearly given, high growth rates of money supply. Are due to high growth rates of money supply, right? High growth potential of the money supply, high growth rates of the money supply, high growth rates of money spending, high growth rates of the money distribution, or none of the above. Yes, guys. Question number 4. What do you think is the answer, guys? Absolutely. If you read it carefully, it's obvious that correct answer is high growth rates of money supply. Very well done, guys. And last question. Moderate rates of inflation are caused by which of the following? Discrepancies in perceived demand for goods and services and changes in the money supply. Okay. Fluctuations in real demand for goods and services and changes in money supply, changes in scarcity and changes in the money demands, high growth rates of the money supply. So moderate rates of inflation are caused by, this was given. Views on the factors that determine moderate rates of inflation are more varied. Changes in inflation are sometimes attributed to fluctuations in real demand for goods and services or in available supplies, and sometimes to changes in money supply. However, there is a general consensus that in the long run, inflation is caused by money supply increasing faster than the growth rate of the economy. So fluctuations in real demand for goods and services, and sometimes to changes in money supply. So these are the two reasons: fluctuations in real demand for goods and services, and second is sometimes to changes in the money supply. Yes, guys. So what do you say is the answer? Absolutely correct. So the answer for fifth question is B. Fluctuations in real demand for goods and services and changes in money supply. See, guys, so you scored 5 out of 5 if you follow this trick, reverse reading, right? So this is a very helpful trick for your exam, and I think you should start using it sensibly. You may or may not have understood what role it plays, but today I think we have understood. Okay, so we can find out the answers very easily without even wasting a lot of mental energy or time, right? We can save a lot of time using this trick. We can save a lot of energy, without even bothering about superfluous sentences, only looking at the sentences which have the answers. And that is how reverse reading helps you, right? Guys, let's try one more passage. This is a very simple one, but I want all of you to please participate, read it carefully. Now, let's try this time, guys. Let's try solving this passage without reverse reading. So I wanted to show the contrast, how reverse reading helps and how it affects your approach, right? So let's try to read the passage and then we will go to the questions. And it's a quite easy one, but let's see if we are able to answer all the questions aptly or not. What needs to be set right is our approach to work. It is the common sight in our country of employees reporting for duty on time and at the same time doing little work. So it is a common sight in our country of employees reporting for duty on time and at the same time doing little work. Time पे तो आते हैं but काम नहीं करते. If an assessment is made of the time they spent in gossiping, drinking tea, eating pan and smoking cigarettes, it will be shocking to know that the time devoted to actual work is negligible. Absolutely. The problem is the standard which the leadership in administration sets for the staff. The problem is the standard which the leadership in administration sets for the staff. What standards are being set by the leaderships? So that is the problem. Forget the ministers because they mix politics and administration. What do top bureaucrats do? What do the officials down below do? The administrative setup remains weak mainly because the employees do not set the right example to follow. And they are more concerned about being in the good books of the bosses than doing work. So he's saying that the problem lies in the example, the example the leaders or employees set for others, for the juniors. And they are more concerned about being in the good books of their bosses than actually working, and they spend a lot of time gossiping, drinking tea, eating pan, and smoking cigarettes, and they waste most of the time. So there's a problem in the work culture of the country, right? So once we have read the passage, now let's try to solve the questions based on this. Yes, guys. So question number 1: the employees in our country are quite punctual but not duty conscious, are not punctual but somehow manage to complete their work, and are somewhat lazy but good natured, are not very highly qualified. Yes, guys. What do you say should be the correct option for this? Siddharth says A. Shadow says A. Very good. Sonali says A. Yes, guys. What about the rest of you? Guys, everybody has to answer. Come on. I'm waiting for your answers. Manish says A. Very good. So it is, this was given in the first line itself. People in India are quite punctual, but they are not duty conscious. Very well done, guys. So the answer here was option number A. Question number 2, guys. The leadership in administration sets a fine example to the employees, is of a reasonably high standard, is composed of idealists, is of a very poor standard. Yes, guys. What do you say? Which should be the correct option for this question? The leadership in administration sets a fine example, is of a reasonably high standard, is composed of idealists, or is of a very poor standard? What do you say? Sonali says D. Siddharth says C. Idealists, Siddharth, idealists are people who believe in ideals. I mean, they look for perfection. They look for doing the things correctly. That's what I was trying to explain it to you. Ideal. So what is ideal? Something which is perfect, right? Ideal situation, ideal conditions. Remember? Very well done, guys. So the correct answer here is the leadership in administration is of a very poor standard. They do not set very good examples, right? Question number 3: the word assessment means inquiry, report, evaluation, or summary. Yes, guys. Can you answer this question without looking at the going back to the passage? The word assessment basically means evaluation. Okay, let's find out where this word was. If an assessment is made of the time they spent in gossiping, drinking tea, eating pan, and smoking, it will shock the. Okay, so if an evaluation assessment is made, so inquiry, report, evaluation, or summary. What do you say, guys? Do you still believe, Shadow and Shweta, that evaluation is the right meaning of the word assessment here? Don't you think it should be inquiry? If an inquiry is made, you will find out. If an evaluation, guys, you actually do not have to find the actual meaning of the word. You have to find what it actually conveys in the sentence of the passage. What do you say? Assessment means inquiry or evaluation? You can reconsider. You can read the sentence again. This is the word. If an assessment is made, I mean, if an evaluation is made, or if an inquiry is made of the time they spent in gossiping, drinking tea, eating pan, smoking cigarettes, it will be shocking to know that the time devoted to actual work is negligible. See, guys, that's why I tell you this is really, really important to find out and to read the questions first so that you are ready for your answers. See, you would have made made a mistake, but if you had read the questions before the passage, it would be easy for you to find the answer. Absolutely. And the answer is also inquiry, not evaluation. But students, they usually make this mistake. See? So we have to be very, very careful while answering such questions. Let's move ahead, guys. Question number 4. According to the writer, the administration in India is by and large effective, very strict and firm, affected by red tape, or more or less ineffective. Red tapeism, I think everybody knows what red tapeism is. Too much formalities in administrative offices or in administration work. That's called red tapeism. What do you say? Absolutely, Shadow. Very good, Siddharth. Very good, Manish. The administration in India is not effective, not strict, not affected by red. It's not given in the passage about red tapeism, but more or less ineffective. So the correct option here is option number D. Very good, Sonali. Very good, Shweta. Good job. And last question, guys. The central idea of the passage could be best expressed by the following: the employee's outlook towards work is justified. The employees must change their outlook towards work. The employees would never change their work culture, or the employer-employee relationship is far from healthy. Yes, guys. Very good, Siddharth. Yes, guys. What do you say? I'm also confused between B and D. D also looks quite convincing. The employer, but guys, this was not about employer-employee. It was about administration, about leadership, setting a good example for juniors. It's not about the employer-employee relationship. Relationship has a lot many things. So we can't we can eliminate this option by this word. So the correct option here is, guys, the employees must change their outlook towards work. Very well done, guys. The correct option here was option number B. So guys, this is what we call preparation of your reading comprehension. You should feel you should be so confident. You should be well practiced before you enter the exam. You should be so confident that when you attempt your answers in your passage in your paper, you should be 100% sure about your options, that this is definitely the answer. So debasement, uh, it's actually an economic term, although, but debasement is quite commonly used in newspapers as well. So debasement basically, Sonali, it basically means adulteration of something. Debasement is जब हम उसमें कोई unwanted चीज ऐड कर देते हैं तो बेस जो होता है ना उसका वो हिल जाता है. So aberrations, or we can say adulteration, right, or change to a lower state, किसी की वैल्यू गिर जाना, उसको बोलते हैं debasement. Correct, Sonali? Absolutely. Very well done, Shadow. That's correct. So guys, how was the session? कैसा लगा यार आज पढ़ के? I know अभी एग्जाम की डेट्स नहीं है, तो you must be worried about the dates of the exam and everything, but I think it is high time we kept preparing for it. So अच्छा गूगल से देखे थे. All right, no issues. तो debasement is basically generally उसका मतलब होता है adulteration. मनी के सेंस में उसका मतलब होता है वैल्यू ऑफ मनी को का गिर जाना, कम हो जाना. Guys, अगर अच्छा लगा सेशन तो you can click the like button. You can share it with your friends if you wish to. And guys, if you have any queries regarding our courses for NABARD or any other competitive exam, please feel free to contact us. You can call us on this number 8146207241, or you can also drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you so much for the kind words. So guys, I'll see you again tomorrow. There's another session for reading comprehension. Tomorrow I'll be taking up some difficult passages, not as easy as the ones we did today, but today was only about learning how to go about it. Tomorrow we are going to discuss some tricky and some difficult passages, right? So guys, be prepared, and tomorrow the session would be again at the same time, 7 p.m. and please feel free to ask or inquire anything you wish to, right? So thank you so much for joining the session, guys, and tomorrow I'll also give you a homework, right? So guys, thank you for joining in the session, and thank you for taking out the time, and I wish you all the success in life, and I wish you all I wish you the preparation turns out fruitful for you, and happy learning to all of you. Thank you so much, guys, for the kind words. Stay safe, please. Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep on working hard. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.